first thing I did was just apply a layer of foundation, and I also went over my lips with it and just did a basic smoky eye and my eyebrow on one side. And the first thing we're going to start off is with the Wolf Brothers Hydro Color in the shade 001, and this is just a water-based paint, so you're going to want to get some sort of very absorbent sponge and just dip that into water, and you're going to want to squeeze out the excess and then rub that sponge in the Hydro Color. Now we're going to go across in a diagonal across my face with the white. We're not going to do the whole face as this is just going to be a half skull, and as you can see, to apply the Hydro Color you simply just dab the sponge, and a little really does go a long way, so don't overpack this makeup. And then I'm going to take the Ben Nye Magicake in the color Licorice Black, and this time I'm going to use an eye detailer using the same method we did with the Hydro Color. Just dip the brush into some water and then swish it around in the cake palette, and it comes out as paint. Now here I'm just going to be drawing the kind of skullish accents on the side of my face. This is just going to be the dripping kind of side, so this is on the normal makeup pretty side of my face. So really with the design you can do it however you really want. I just did up and down kind of drippy lines, and then I'm going to shade the inside of it black, and we're going to fade it down. So the best way to fade these watercolor paints is you just literally get a bit of paint on your brush and then dip it straight into the water, wipe it off a bit, and then apply it to your face, and it creates that blending motion, that blending look. And then I'm just adding a few little extra accents on the top just to make it look a bit more fancy. And then I'm gonna start doing the skull nose. Super easy, basically 2 triangles over each side of your nostril with a gap in the middle, and then just color that in black. And then I'm going to do the eye socket, making sure to cover over my eyebrow, or else we're just going to have a very random hairy white patch on our face. And do a basic circle with a smaller circle on the outer corner towards the bottom, and just shade that in all black. And don't be afraid to go around your eyes with these watercolor paints, because they're totally harmless. They're not going to hurt your eye if they even do somehow manage to get into it. And then next we're going to do the hollow cheek. So I'm just doing a squiggly line, and then I'm doing a mirroring one underneath, so it's going to look like your hollowed cheekbone. And then I thought I would just further accent around the hollow of my eye quickly. And then we're going to color and shade in that cheek hollow. So the darkest points obviously on the outer lines, and then as it gradiates towards the middle of that hollow, it's gonna get a lot lighter. And then I'm just adding a little bit more darkness to the outer edge as it got a little bit light. And now I'm just going to draw a black line in the middle of my lips and accenting out that smile just a little bit. This is going to be our base foundation for where we're going to draw our teeth, and make sure you black out the inner points of your lips as well. And then I'm going to take a flat eyeliner brush, and I'm going to use that to do the teeth. Super easy, just a bunch of kind of bent lines coming up and down, accenting kind of in the way of teeth. And then I'm going to take just a little blending brush, and I'm going to just lightly blend out that black. So I'm just pulling it from the already existing paint that's on my face, and then I'm just further blacking. I'm not adding anything extra, just pulling it out and blending. And as you can see, I'm just doing it in between the teeth, around the smile, and furthering it out onto the face. And then I'm just going to quickly shade my jawline since I've got this nice grayish color stuck on my brush, and I'm also going to do a little hollow on the top of my skull for a bit of shadow. In hindsight, I would have made this hollow more rounder, so if you're doing it on yourself, do make it more rounder rather than a semi-straight line across your forehead. It'll look more effective if it's got a little bit of curve to it. And then I'm just doing little accents all over the face just to kind of make it look a little more realistic. And of course, down the bridge of my nose. And then just with that white hydrocolor again, I'm just going to whiten up a few of the teeth that kind of got lost while we were shading. And then I'm going to take Third Degree parts A and B, and then a cream foundation. I'm using this one by Dermablend. You can use any cream foundation you want. I don't advise using liquid. Cream is the best when using Third Degree. Now you're going to want to take equal parts of both A and B. Make sure you clean your spatula or applicator in between collecting A and B parts, because the way Third Degree works, as soon as A and B touch, it starts to activate and set. So you've got a very, very minimum working time with it. Always make your batches very small because this stuff literally sets in about a minute. So you got a minute working time with it before it's just rubbery and hopeless to use. So I made a total of 2 batches for this whole look, both at separate times. Obviously use the first one, then once that one went all rubbery, I made a second batch and applied that one. And once you've done that, your look is finished.